vision. And I want to ask, what is your advice for aspiring filmmakers, and especially aspiring filmmakers who might be women of color who are looking to break in and follow in your footsteps?
My advice in general would be follow your bliss. I think there are certain points where it's so much easier to project on yourself what you think people want, whether it be English language, whether it be a vampire. I remember I had a writer's assistant for myself who thought she had to write a vampire movie because everybody was writing vampire movies, and there's no way I'm going to get a job unless I do. I think follow your bliss, go from the inside. If you have a story, what is your story to tell? And if you don't have a story to tell, go live in the world. Find the stories, find the things that you want to say, because ultimately I think one of the problems that I see as I'm reading and looking around is people don't have something to say, and so they're making that there's no heart in so many projects that don't make it to the screen. You'll never see them, but I do. So I think that's one thing, and I'm really glad I followed my bliss and was allowed to. The other thing is, there's three things probably. The other thing is, there was a point in my career after I finished Meet the Patels where I was broke again, and I was about 35. I had not gotten the agents yet because nobody actually wanted Meet the Patels when it first came out. It became a hit later through the underground small festivals. So at first, we actually didn't get into any of the big festivals, Sundance, Tribeca, whatever. And I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm washed up. Like, I have got to go get a real job. I've got to start dating. Like, there's things that I have to do at this point. I had given so much up to do this, art. And I went on a walk and I thought to myself, okay, I have no money. I go out with my friends and we split the bill. I asked to split the bill, but everybody else just, what I'm saying? I have no money, so I'll be like, I had a lemonade, you guys split it. I just had no money. I was that person, and everyone knows that story in their life where everyone has more money than you. Everyone had big
Mm-hmm.
houses, big careers. They had 401ks, they had insurance, and I had nothing. And I thought, if I leave right now and get a real job, I can have all that. Or I can stay and continue for the rest of my life to do what I love and make no money and be a secretary on the side, but I will be happy. And in that moment, I made a decision that I would choose to be happy and live on beans. And I never would expect to make money doing it. I would just make my little films, and this is the way I'd live. And that was the greatest decision I ever made because, yes, of course, now I have a big career, but I never expected it. And to this day, I am no different than I was in that moment. I am the same level of happy that I was in that moment. And I wish that for everyone, that if you love something, just do it, because that's success. Success isn't having money. And the third thing is for women, I will not lie. There were times where, right from the beginning, it was tough. I didn't feel accepted when I first started directing. I don't know if it was because I was a woman. I don't know if it was because of something else, but I literally had people testing me. I had in my second show, the DP was asking me if I knew terminology of lenses and film, which nobody needs to know to be a director, but he did it in front of the crew. I had actors refuse to talk to me. I'm telling you the bad stuff. There were great things too, but it was just tough. And I wished that I had believed in myself more and understood that it wasn't my fault. I had another director tell me the reason I got a job is because of the quota. And yes, maybe, but there are so many things along the way because there is this incentive to hire women. I think sometimes it can feel like people think that you're only hired because they needed a woman. In fact, I interviewed for a show and they literally said to me, we need a diverse female, so we thought we'd talk to you. Like, it's not like you're making it up in your head. And I think my advice would be, and I say this to myself constantly, is you are talented. You wouldn't be here if you weren't talented. And you are going to do a great job and you will keep going. And do not listen to any of this because it's not productive. Just keep going. And what's interesting is now I'm almost 50, and so many people from the past who took me down, and I did go down for a couple weeks, where you feel like crap, have come and apologized and said, hey, I just want you to know we really gave you a hard time. And I'm like, oh my God, so it wasn't in my head, stuff like that. And so I remember that now. And for my daughter one day, I just want to tell her, like, just keep going, regardless, whether it's because you're short, you talk funny, I don't care. Just keep going, just know that you are talented.